Let's go ahead and use IntelliJ to create our first module project here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say File, New, say Project. Let's see, let's make sure that it says Java at the top, and we also have Java 9 SDK. Say Next. This is all good. Say Next again. Let's give it a title. I'm going to say, call this Course App Module. You can name it whatever you want, but this works for me. If you open, you notice now we have the source and all of those dependencies. But let's go ahead and get rid of this source here. I'm going to delete because we're going to create our own. Delete, and that's perfect. So what we're going to do here, we are going to go ahead and create modules. IntelliJ already has this concept of modules. So when we create these modules here, it's not going to be until we create the module-info.java that we will then be implementing the actual Java modules. Okay, so let's go to our course, click on our course app module here, our project, right click. We're going to say new, we're going to create a module. So it's going to be a Java module, say next, and I'm going to give it a name. The name I'm going to give, say build apps with Paulo, programming course app as such. Say okay. So we have first module. Let's do the second module here. So new Java module. I'm going to do the same. We say BAWP programming, and this is going to be, let's call this course data, just like that. Course database. Why not? Okay, so now we have two modules. But again, these modules are not connected with Java 9. They are actually internal inside of our IntelliJ. Now, the next thing we're going to do is, we notice now inside of our modules, if you open the module, you notice we have source. This one also has source. So now inside of our source here, we're going to create another package. Okay, so I'm going to say new, my directory. I'm going to call pretty much the same thing. Programming course app as such. Notice now we have a package here. Inside, I'm going to just add a new file, and I'm going to call this main.java. Okay, there we go. There we go. We have a Java file here. So for now, I'm going to call this main public class main. Okay, I'm going to say PS VM for short to get the main method, like that, and there we go. Okay, so let's go back down here. So our source, I'm going to do the same thing. It's going to be new package. I'm going to call BAWP again, course database. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead inside. I'm going to create a Java class, and this Java class we're going to call this course server. Okay, as such, and let's create another class here. I'm going to call this class course, and this is just a simple class. I'm going to put string here, course name, private string, course author, as such. So essentially it's going to create a few courses for us. So we've got a few getters and setters there. Okay, nothing big. All right, very nice. So we have now two packages here, this first one and this first one and this second one. So in order for this to work, we actually have to go to source in each one of these and add our module info.java, which is going to tell the IntelliJ that we are indeed going to be using the Java 9 modules. So right click, say new, and we can say module info. There we go. Click on that, and there we go. And it knows exactly what to do, because you notice it goes and says bot programming course database. Course database. Okay, let's do the same here with our course app. Let's go ahead and actually add here this new Java class, which is going to be main.java. Say like this. There we go. Now we have our main.java. We're going to go ahead and say PS VM to create our method declaration. Say enter, and there we go. Okay, and like we did for module info here, we're going to do the same thing. So right click on source, say new, we want the module info as well. And you notice it gets the correct package name. Very nice. So let's go ahead and go to main here and give it a quick run. If you just click to the right here, say run, we shouldn't see anything and nothing should show. Very cool. Very nice indeed. And if we go to, and let's go to messages here, it tells us that it was compiled using Java 9, which is exactly what we want. Let's go ahead to our course server. So this is where we're actually going to serve or create the actual course data. I'm going to create a function that will create actual courses. Okay, so I'm going to say public list. It's going to pass list type of courses. Okay, and I'm going to say get course list as such. So this obviously has to return a course list. So here I'm going to say create a list, of course, of type courses. Again, I'm going to call this course list, and I'm going to make it list of. Okay, this is a new syntax that says is an immutable type list. Our course list. But of course, we need to create that course. So I'm going to go ahead and say course, create a course object. It's equal to new course. Okay. And then I'm going to say for int I is equal to 0. I is less than 10 for now. I plus plus. And inside here, I'm going to say course. Just create the actual course. Set course name. I'm just going to say course name. For now, I'm going to just append the I. Again, if this makes no sense, this is too advanced, don't worry. Just you'll get all of these files so that you can play with. Okay, this is for the people who have. This is for people who have done some Java. So we're just trying to get things to work here with our module. And then I'm going to say course again dot set author such. I'm going to say author. Say James, of course. For now, I'm just going to pass the I there. So we're going to iterate through and create our course object. And of course, I'm going to use the course list again and make sure that I add our course that we created here. Nothing big, really. It's just that we want to make sure to have our courses as we use our modules here. So we have that now. If we go ahead and run this, of course, nothing's going to show again, but at least nothing is breaking either. Now, if I go to my main and I say something like course, you notice the moment you do that, I can't even see it, right? If I say course server, I'm going to call this course server is equal to new course server. Notice I'm having some issues here. I'll click here and see what's going on. And it says we can add a dependency of module user course database, which we don't have. But remember, this dependency here that we're going to be adding is for internal IntelliJ. It's still nothing to do with Java 9. So I'm going to click that. So you notice we have problems here. If you hover over, it says module course database does not export the package course database to module course app. Because everything is into modules now, what Java 9 is saying, well, there is no connection, there is no dependency that we know of that will allow us to actually use this course server, which is from a different module into our module here, which contains the main. So that means now we have to go to course database. So let's go to this one here, module info, and we're going to say exports, right? Because we are making sure that this exports to be used in another module. So I'm going to say exports dot, and I can say this one like this, okay? If you save this and go back here, we still have a problem. The module does not have the module. So now it's saying that the module course app, this one here that we are currently in, does not have the module database in requirements. That means now we have to go back to inside of our program in this course app here, we have this module info. We have to then add a requirement. Okay, so now we can say here requires, what does it require? Say BAP database as such. And the moment you do that, you notice now everything is gone. All the errors are gone. If you go to main, this all works. That's very important. So this one here has to say requires because it needs this course database which contains the course server. For our course server module info here, this has to export. It's saying, well, I'm exporting my data so that anybody that can actually implement me or require me, they will be able to get my data, my information. See the power here? That's very, very important because now we're compartmentalizing our code. So we could have added other code here or other packages inside here, and we could have hidden those packages because now in the modular info, we are only saying we want to export or let certain parts of our code or our package to be publicly available. Okay, so now here what I can do, I can say list. I know there's going to be list of type courses as such. I'm going to say courses is equal to course server dot get list, like this. So now our courses here will contain all of the courses that we created, and now I can say for course and courses. I'm going to go ahead and s out as such courses. I'm going to go ahead and say course dot, let's get course name as such. So now if we go ahead and run this, there's the problem. That was immutable, which means we can mutate. Let's go back to our course server here, say array list, just to simplify things. New array list as such. Okay, this should work right now. And there we go. Obviously our loops are all mixed up. That is not a big deal. All I wanted to show you is how to create classes and modules, how to create modules and require those modules as well as export them so that we're able then to get data and use different classes in our modules using Java 9. Okay, so don't worry about the code, about anything else. What I really want you to understand is the power that we now have of instance here. We are exporting our course database package, and this one is the one that's going to be using it. We are then say requires our course database package, which is this, which internally has the course server, which of course creates all of these courses for us. Very nice. So you've created your first module-based Java 9 program here. Okay, and I do understand if this is the first time you're looking at Java. In fact, if this is the first time you're looking at Java, and this may be a little bit overwhelming in terms of understanding why is this so important. Just remember, now we are compartmentalizing our code. We are modularizing our code. So we are saying we can create packages that contain code that's encapsulated, that's hidden, and we can control, we can put that data, we can put that specification in our module-info.java to say we want to export our code, our package, so that anybody else, any other class that requires it will be able to use it. And that's huge, because now we're specifically saying this is what we want to happen in our code, in our modules. So all these classes are actually hidden until we specifically, via module.info.java, we can specifically say what we want the public, the other classes to see. And what I need you to do right now, if this makes no sense, I need you to go back and watch this video or this section here, where we start talking about Java 9 and Java 9 features, and write down notes. Try to figure out what is that you not understand. If you have any questions, of course, you know where to find me. Just ask those questions. But I really want you to get used to asking those questions and trying to figure out on your own. And if you get stuck, ask me questions or ask other students in the discussion forum. Okay? Oh, perfect. Again, remember, practice makes it perfect. I'll see you next.